Hi guys, how you guys doing today? I hope that you guys are having a very wonderful day. So, I know I have not been doing video in a minute. I've been have some video that I promised you guys that I was gonna put out, but I haven't had the chance because a lot of things happened in the beginning of this year. One of the things that happened in the beginning of this year, I went on a fast. I like to do a cleansing fast for the year, just to start my year off right. And I wanted to make a video about that, but I just been busy from that moment on. From that moment on, I went to work. A lot of things happened, guys. From that moment on, I went to work. After when me going to work, it seemed like, can all you parents relate? It seemed like every time when you get a job, that's when your kids start misbehave. That's when everything start going wrong. But anyway, I went back to work. And when I went back to work, my daughter got into a little trouble at school, and it caused me to have to homeschool her. So that's what I've been doing. And I have some story time about what happened when I was at work. Like, I went back to the nursing field. I was working into a assisted living, y'all. And let me tell you, I stopped doing nursing for a while. And when I went back, when I say it was ratchet, I don't know what's going on in the nursing field, but the nursing field always has been a problem to begin with. If you're going to be in that field, you got to have a big back, like what I used to tell the girls at my job. Like, listen, my back is very broad. Whatever you fling over here, going to get fling right back on you. Don't play with me. But yeah, let's go into a quick story time of what happened, because I just want to get this video out, because 9 times out of 10, if I don't do these video would never ever get done. It would just be sitting there, and I just move on to the next phase of what's going on in my life. But anywho, when I start working at a nursing home, I'm not gonna tell you which one it was. But anyway, I was working there, and the first time when I start working there, I try to be nice, but I try my best not to be too nice. Because when you're in a nursing field, listen, it's not for the weak. You got to be strong. Your back got to be broad. And you got to be willing to put people in their place. So I never tried to be too nice when I was working. So, one of the things that happened to me when I was working, like, you guys ever met somebody and it's like your spirit didn't take them? It was just something about them. It's not like you didn't like them and you have a problem with them, but just something tell you to just stay away from that person. You get a bad vibe from someone. But anyway, one of my co-worker I was working with, the minute I met that lady, it was, well, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm just gonna put it out there. Let's be real. The lady looked very mean and very evil. Okay? And don't get me wrong, because I'm the type of person that have that face. I look mean too. But yeah, it's not one of them things where people look mean and they actually nice. It was something about the lady, and not only that, she was ugly. So I was like, I don't want to be around that. It was just something about, I couldn't pinpoint it, but it was just something telling me to stay the hell away from that lady. So anyway, in this particular facility where I was working, I never been to a facility where everything you got to do two-person assist. I can understand if somebody need help, yeah, but it was like some of the patient, they would tell you 2-person assist, and it wasn't even a patient that was like OD heavy, and it wasn't like a patient that was using a Hoyer lift. But this particular patient, it got to be, yo, every time the Zuba was in his room and he just hear me talking on here, and he just come over here start making all that noise. But anyway, let's move on. Yeah, it was one particular patient that we have to do 2-person assist. So I had that patient on that floor. So I asked her, I'm like, No, let me go back. I'm moving ahead. Let me tell you guys what happened before that. I was new and I was just doing my rounds to do my patient. Like I was following the assignment, what I have to do with that particular patient. So, I went in my patient room and I seen like another coworker, another nurse's aide, and it was the cleaning people, housekeeping was in there. So the housekeeping, when she see me going in, she's like, oh, another aide is already in there. So I'm like, okay, that's still my patient. She's on my assignment. Unless one of the supervisors tell me I won't have to do that particular patient, I will not go in her room. Anyway, I went up in the patient room and I saw the coworker was there, and then she was like, oh, I'm about to give her a bed bath. So I'm like, I'm new. I wasn't trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just asking her, like, do you have this patient if you want to give her a bed bath? So she was like, no, I have the patient, but I just wanted to do it. So I'm thinking in my head, like, if you wanted to do one of my patients, shouldn't you communicate that with me? And plus, not only that, guys, when you working in a nursing facility, if somebody gonna do your patient, they need to communicate with you. They can't sneak off and just do your patient, because something could go wrong in the room with that patient, and because you don't know who went in there, nobody know nothing, no communicate, everything will fall back on you. So anywho, I asked her, and when I asked her, she was like, no. She was like, oh, I just want to give her a bath. So I'm like, well, she's not on my list to give her a bath. She's only on my list for me to change her and turn her every 2 hours. So she was like, she just got real nasty. She was like, you know what? If you don't, it's all right. I would just leave out. You could have her. So I'm like, no, I'm just generally asking, like, do you have that patient? Because if you have that patient, go ahead. If you don't have that patient, we could communicate and I hand her over to you. But you're not going to do it in a sneaking way where you just sneak up in my patient room and just start working on my patient without letting me know. But anywho, like, we are supposed to communicate with each other. And I'm big on that, because let me tell you, when things go down in the nursing facility, everybody want to point their hands on everybody else but themselves. So anywho, she caught an attitude. So when I see her in the locker room as we was changing shift, I was like, hey, I pulled her to the side and I was like, hey, I don't mean to offend you. It seemed like you got offended. I don't mean to offend you in any way. I was just generally asking if you have the patient. So she was like, no, it's not that I got offended. The only thing that got me a little bit upset, because when I told you that the patient was in pain, you was like that you didn't care. So I'm like, when did I tell you that I didn't care that the patient was in pain? So when she say that, I know how these nursing girls could be. They liars. They would go back and tell some lies on you. So I had to check her real quick and show her that serious face, like, don't play with me. Don't get it twisted. I may look a little soft, but don't get it twisted. But anyway, I tell her, I said, first of all, I never tell you nothing like that. And one thing about me, I don't like people lying on me. So you know what? I'm just going to walk away, because I don't mess with liars. This is before I even knew anything about the lady. So anyway, the lady grouped up with her friends. I heard everybody was talking about me. Everybody have a whole lot of things to say. So one of the ladies took a liking to me. So she let me know what was going on. And then she also let me know, like, that lady's a very evil person. Like, she go around tell many lies on other workers in here. Like, that's how she is. So you got to be careful with her. And you need to document everything, because she gonna go back and make some shit up with your name. Anywho, from that moment on, we're gonna have to go to part 2, because this shit is about to cut, y'all. But stay tuned for part 2.